Welcome to the Goalbusters Expert Peak Productivity Tips podcast, where top business experts get just 7 minutes to answer 5 rapid-fire questions about what they do and how they stay productive. Each episode is packed with actionable insights to help boost your efficiency and achieve your goals. Let's dive in and unlock the secrets to peak performance. Well, hello everyone. My name is Robin J. Emden, and I'm an accountability coach and author of Get Resultsology, the science of getting stuff done. I work with people who run their own business. No boss, distractions everywhere, and never enough hours in the day. Together we cut through the noise, sharpen their focus, and get moving on the things that actually move the needle. That's what I call the momentum formula. Do it today, profit tomorrow, and repeat. So if that sounds like the kind of breakthrough that you've been looking for, then you're in exactly the right place. And speaking of being in exactly the right place, I am delighted to welcome our guest expert today, Sam Burmeister. Sam is the founder and lead copywriter at Nomad Copy Agency, where every business she writes for gets copy that sounds like them, but converts better. And you can tell that that has been written by a copywriter because it's brilliant. Sam, welcome to Goalbusters.
Robin, thank you. That was such a great, warm welcome.
You're very welcome. And whereabouts are you in the world?
I am currently in California, USA.
Oh my goodness. And that's like a zillion hours behind me here in England. And I believe so it must be very early for you, which I'm envious of because it means that you can have coffee and it's too late in the day for me. So I've got to wait till tomorrow now.
Yeah. That's the worst, right? You reach a certain point and it's like, do I want the coffee or do I want to stay up all night? And
that is genuinely the toughest decision of my day every single day. And honestly, I'm not exaggerating when I say I do find that a really tough decision. No matter what else happens.
I was raised to believe that decaf is a sin, so that's just not an option either. So.
Oh, a kindred spirit. Yeah, what's the point? I mean,
what's the point?
All right. Anyway, I'm waffling on, and we should be doing the podcast instead. Shall I get the clock up on the screen?
Oh, let's do it.
All right, here we go. And there it is. Sam, could you tell me, please, who is your ideal client?
I love working with people who have small businesses, typically less than 5 million revenue, who have gotten themselves this far and they know that their copy could be converting better. That's what I do. My background's in sales and I want to help people sell more.
Oh, I'm leaning in already, but I won't because I'll bang my nose on the screen. So I better ask the next question, which is, what is the problem that you solve for them in a little bit more detail?
Yeah, as an author yourself, you know that there are many authors on sales who will say that there are only 3 problems that people can have: time, money, and risk mitigation. So I solve for all of those. A lot of people come to me, funny enough, over the summer when their kids are out of school and suddenly their time that they have to do their work is cut in half. I help people write better copy faster. And it's not necessarily that they're writing it. I help them get better copy out into the ecosystem of their business faster. Money, that their stuff isn't converting and they don't know why. My background's in sales and sales psychology. So I help them make more money. And then the mitigation of risk. Launching and waiting to sell something is risky. And when you hire a copywriter, especially one who's good, which is me, that's where you mitigate the risk of running a launch that isn't following best practices, that just doesn't work. So that's the problem I solve. Is like I said, I help people sell. I want to see people succeed. I want to see people use their time and money efficiently.
Yes, and I love your modesty there. I share that value with you too. No, seriously, if you've got it, flaunt it. That's what I say. So what is one valuable free action that the audience could implement that will help them to move some way towards solving the problem for themselves?
Yeah, I encourage people, especially in today's business ecosystem, to take a second and think about it before you write your copy. Too often, if we need, say, a sales page, we'll go to Google, we'll go to ChatGPT, we'll go to somebody else, we'll find a template and say, what needs to go on a sales page? Without pausing to think about, what does my audience need to know to be able to buy? Because when you ask somebody who has no context in your business, or a bot or a template, who has no context on your business, it's going to tell you everything in the kitchen sink. And sometimes that's actually going to be a detriment because you're going to lose your audience's attention. So the free action is to use your sweet, sweet brain.
Yes, definitely use your brain, and don't rely on ChatGPT. All the old other alternatives. They look really good when you first look at them, and I've learned from personal experience that they suck actually at copy.
Mm-hmm.
So, right, enough said. Other AIs that suck are available now. Now that we have a better understanding of what you do, let's dive briefly into goal busting, which is focusing on how to maximize productive time to achieve business goals. Could you share any tips or advice for someone looking to improve their productivity habits, please, Sam?
Yeah, for sure. And I think this builds off of what I just said, especially in the context of writing your own copy or hiring a copywriter. So, to be productive, I think, again, knowing what you don't need to write is just as important as knowing what you need to write. So, using that cute little brain of yours to think about what you do need to write versus going to somebody else and outsourcing that is important. Other thing is to talk to your audience more, especially in the US, where there's a lot of talk about recession right now and people's spending habits. And from a sales perspective and a business owner's perspective, we're really in more of a trust recession. And we have the opportunity to implement a trust renaissance by connecting with our people. So often, as business owners, we're told to scale and to be more productive and improve your productivity tools. That comes from knowing your audience really well and being well trusted by your audience. And that comes from using the language that they use. So, your copy, your sales can be more productive simply by showing your face and talking to your people and getting things in their words and just listening right now.
Yes, so many of us hide behind all the platforms that are out there and forget that at the end of the day, real sales come from face-to-face
Yeah.
connection. And you can do
Mm-hmm.
face-to-face connection online. Hello, we're doing that right now on a podcast.
Exactly.
That's the kind of face-to-face that you can do, and you can do it globally, so you can reach a lot of people. All right, so enough of me. Still have time for another question, and which is, what should I have asked you today, Sam, that I didn't? And obviously, what would your answer be?
What should you have asked me? I'm glad that we talked about AI because people tend to unsolicited tell me that AI is about to take my job. And I think that you should have asked me, do I believe that? Because no, I don't. If you've done any of the things where you can plug in, like, show me a picture of like myself, but on a beach in Bali or something, then suddenly you have like three elbows instead of two, or something like that. I think that's a good visual representation of how AI is only as good as the person prompting it. AI can move us along really well. Again, from like being a productive person, I think a lot of people spend more time trying to figure out how to prompt AI when they could just be doing their job or doing their copywriting in my case. Um, so I think like from the angle of what you do and what I do, should we be using AI? Yeah, absolutely. If we don't use AI, we're going to fall behind the times. We should familiarize ourselves with it. But we also shouldn't think of AI just in terms of, but is done better than perfect. And that's my stance on it, is that it's simply a tool. It can be used for productivity and it can be used for writing, but it shouldn't be relied upon.
Yes, and in my experience, I've already hinted it can really suck as well. And I'm not being facetious or foolish there. It's better than what you could do by yourself. When I say
Mm-hmm.
you, I mean the rhetorical you, not you personally.
Sure.
But more often than not, it takes you down rabbit holes, and
Mm-hmm.
and there are no results down there, and you don't find out until it's too late, until you've wasted days, weeks, and months, and maybe a lot of money chasing after something which it actually didn't do very well in the first place. And you really needed an expert to look at what it produced, and they would have
Yeah.
told you that. And if you didn't go to an expert because you were using the AI, well, that's on you then, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When ChatGPT first dropped, because AI has been around for 30 plus years, when ChatGPT first dropped and everybody in the business world started using it, what was that, 2, 3 years ago? I saw a dip in my business because everybody thought, oh, I can just say, write me a sales page and it'll write me a sales page. And then I saw a lot of people go back to working full time for somebody else. I saw a lot of people who saw the slippery slope that they were on and pulled themselves out. And then my business started to pick back up again really quickly. But a lot of people played with it and realized this is not doing what a person can do.
Yes, and
that
also
was an
Joe
interesting-
Public, the people that are not into writing copy themselves, are getting pretty quick and pretty fast on spotting when something has been written by AI, and that's a complete turn-off. What I need to know now, if for our listeners and our viewers, is how can people reach you? That's part A. And part B, is there like a valuable free resource they can get from you as well? Because as I often say, being British, it's a very cheeky question. But actually, it's a very serious question, because sometimes people aren't ready to make the contact yet necessarily. They want to find out more about your offer, and these valuable free resource from our guest is usually an absolutely superb way of finding out more about you before, and then hopefully they'll get in touch.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's start with the valuable free resource. I programmed a bot, which seems antithetical to what I just said about using AI, but I trained it. I trained it with my understanding of sales psychology, and it does one very specific thing, and that is write the first 2 sections of your opt-in page. And typically all you need on an opt-in page is 2 sections. You're above the fold and a bit more of an explainer. So it does that, and it does that according to sales psychology principles. You can find it at nomadcopyagency.com/opt-in-copybot. I know that's a mouthful, so it'll be linked below. You can find me on LinkedIn. I am at Samantha Burmeister, which again, my parents gave me a long one, so that will also be linked below so you can spell my last name. And on Instagram, I'm at nomad.copy.
Thank you so much, Samantha Burmeister. That has been an absolute masterclass. Samantha by profession, Sam to her friends and her colleagues, so either will work. I'm sure she did tell me before we started recording. So thank you so much for appearing on Goalbusters today.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care.
You're extremely welcome. And remember, everybody, keep goal busting and make your future self proud. Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Goalbusters. If you're enjoying it, please subscribe, rate and review it on your favourite podcast platform. Your support is very much appreciated. And if you're ready to boost your online profits, skyrocket your productivity, crush procrastination, and see a positive change in your bank balance, all within just 30 days, this is your opportunity. Take my free 5-day challenge at www.skyrocketyourproductivitychallenge.com.